Okay.
Your new album seems to talk about dealing with life. Can you tell me in more detail what you're trying to get across to the audience?
With the album, I think we wrote this album. A lot of the album was written and recorded during pandemic time.
Yeah.
And I think during pandemic time is really the most important for everybody because,
Yeah.
everybody is in a mental place where they need support, or it's very difficult to get through the next day just because of everything happening. And I think the lyrics and just the entire process really reflects on
Okay.
how it connects emotionally with everyone. So with the album, we're hoping that we can say, like, hey, like, you're not alone. There's so much in the world. There's so many different parts of the world, and with, like, even within yourself, like, emotionally,
Yeah.
physically, mentally, um, the music is there, and you're not alone, I think, is the best
Okay.
way.
Are you isolation when wrote the album?
Yeah, yes, I think a lot of it was written in isolation, actually, yeah. When
Okay.
we did the album, we started in 2020,
Yeah.
and at that point, I think we wrote and recorded a bit of the album, and then we had to stop because of the pandemic. The studio was in the US and we were in Canada, so
Ah,
if we
okay.
want to record, we have to cross the border. But because pandemic, the border was closed.
Okay. All of the group, all of the members group are from Canada or in different places.
Yep, everyone's from Canada. Everyone's
Okay.
from Toronto, Canada, and, like, the cities around
Okay.
Toronto.
Okay. When you compose the album, you are staying in contact that time.
Yep, yep.
Ah, okay.
A lot of the writing is done online, actually. So Chris, the guitarist, he would write a lot of the stuff first and then show it to us, and we have, like, a cloud, like a Google Drive or a
Yeah.
Dropbox, and we just share everything. And
Okay.
almost every week, almost every day, we're talking or on a video call or
Yeah.
phone call just to make sure. Yeah,
As me and you know by Zoom and these different platforms.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. We also suffered a lot. Do you think that pain is a good source, a good medicine for artistic creativity?
I think, yeah, I do think that a lot of art comes from pain, and even a lot of the greatest pieces of art, almost everything from Picasso comes from
Picasso.
pain. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of Picasso
Do,
comes
do
from
you do you
pain.
know the Guernica picture?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah.
It's
There's
a way
there's so
song.
much.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So it's the same for art, for music as well. I think music. I think pain is usually a good inspiration and um, a good escape or a release,
Yeah.
because you use that feeling, and the worst thing to do is to keep the feeling inside. And as musicians, I guess the best way to get those feelings out is through writing it, or singing it, screaming it, or painting it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Or wrote. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel I am agree with you because there are a lot of examples, no, in artistic movements, no, as you do told me. Okay, and on July 16, you will give a concert in your hometown. Do you think the public will react in the same way as before the pandemic? Do you think they will be more quiet or really want to get their energy out?
I feel like since the pandemic, I've been to a few concerts, and it definitely seems like people are more careful. So,
Careful.
so
Oh,
I mean, there's still mosh pits, there's still, like, running around circle pits and whatever. But I think, uh, either people are wearing masks or not many people are participating like before, because too many people. Sometimes people are still kind of nervous. They want to enjoy the show, but they also don't want to have any negative consequence.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be exciting because it's our first show in 2 years.
In 2 years.
In 2 years, the
Wow.
last show we played was 2020 January. So this is the first time back
A
after
long
two
time. Yeah.
years, a
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
time, and people will be excited. But I think people will also just be not too crazy at the show.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
there still many COVID restrictions in on concerts in Canada?
Right now, a lot of restrictions got lifted actually earlier this year. Before, I think it was in December or January, whenever there was a concert, everyone had to be sitting.
Yeah.
So you go to a venue and it's so strange because I went to a rock show and they
Yeah.
set up all the chairs.
In Spain was the same situation with
It's the
chairs.
same?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now there are no restrictions, and there are no COVID restrictions in the live shows. But
Mhm.
until 2 months ago, all people have to sit down in chairs. Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
a strange feelings,
It's
but
so strange, yeah.
it's better than nothing. No.
Exactly. It's better than no show. But I think for us, it's right now some venues or some shows, if they decide, they can ask for proof of vaccination and people to wear masks. But right now, it's not necessary. It's up to the promoter, up to the venue, up to the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Talking about the songs of the album, I like Father Said is a good song in my opinion. I'm struck
Thank
by
you.
the change in Lauren's vocal range. It's amazing. She really seems to have really improved her vocal technique since the first album. How did you experience personally the evolution of Lauren as an artist?
How do we? Sorry, what was that last part?
Yeah, how do you live the evolution of improve of the Laura of the Lauren vocal technique?
It's her vocals are amazing. Every time she makes a new song or she uh records a new video for YouTube, that's another opportunity for her to practice her vocal or for her to try to step up and try something new. And even during, I think before the album or even during pandemic, she was also taking additional lessons and kind
Ah,
of
okay.
learning,
Yeah,
taking care of her voice and just always practicing because, during pandemic is like, that's the time that people lose practice. And I
yeah,
think she kept going and she kept going. And because of all that, when we went to the studio to do Father Said, it was like amazing. Just like all the power came out, and we were all like, "Holy shit! Like um, this is new. This is excellent." She can switch between the screaming and the singing very
yeah.
well, and you could
Melodic
hear it.
parts, in my opinion, she improved the melodic parts.
Hmm.
At times, she reminds me of Halle Williams of Paramore.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. In some times,
yeah.
do you know who are Lauren's main idols when it comes to singing?
Her idols. Oh, that's a Lauren question, but I think Amy Winehouse she loves.
Amy Winehouse,
Lady Gaga,
Lady
uh,
Gaga, pop stars.
pop stars. Yeah, a lot of she takes a lot of influence from pop stars. I think a lot of that helps her with the melody writing, and also just like the strength in the singing. Because with a lot of metal, it's more screaming and sometimes singing, but with pop, it's all singing. So it's like it's a good way to just like get the voice out really strong.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I feel so okay. And who are your main influences playing drums?
Ooh, for drums, oh, there's so many. Like I have a lot of friends that I really look up to, and a lot of just bands that I listen to as well. Like Oh man, Dance Gavin Dance is a band that I really enjoy. The
There is
drummer
dance,
from
dance.
that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I know them. Yeah,
yeah. Periphery, drummer for Periphery.
for free. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When I grew up, a lot of Under Oath and Yellow
Under
Card,
of metalcore, jam metal. No,
a lot of
it
metalcore. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. This kind of metal.
yeah.
Okay.
I think I listened the time that I was learning drums and I started, doing more drums. It was all metalcore. That was high school for me, so it
Yeah.
was just
Classic
metalcore time.
drummers. mm,
There's a few classic drummers out there. Oh man, I can't even think right now. There's
Lars Ulrich, for example, or not?
which one?
Lars Ulrich from Metallica.
He has some good writing sometimes. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people make fun of him, and they always say, "Oh, his writing is like," but he has really good gems every few songs,
Yeah,
and it's creative. I think it's creative
yeah, yeah.
because
I
for me,
admire Lars because he's a drummer, but at the same time he's a businessman. No, he's a
yes, he
businessman.
he's an excellent businessman. Absolutely, he knows how to make good decisions, and I really like that about
It's
music
a
because
it's an important part in a band. No.
exactly. Yeah. Now a lot of people think, oh, I'm just gonna play music and I'm just gonna, you know, but now it's like you have to play music, you have to do the business, the social media, the branding,
Yeah.
marketing, all
How
that stuff.
important is social media by a band actually?
I think it's very important
Very important.
because, music is meant for people to listen to. And in this day of age, the only way people can hear it is through social media. If I
Yeah,
if I make a CD, but I don't tell anybody on social media, the furthest it could go is down the street if I
yeah,
send it to someone down the street, right?
yeah,
But social media, I could have someone from Spain hear the song.
yeah,
I could have
yeah,
someone from Japan listen to it, or
yeah, yeah.
Germany. Um,
And YouTube.
YouTube, very important, I think, because again, it's another platform that so many people use, and it's so easy to find if you know what you're looking for. You could type in metal, and in one day, if you type in metal on YouTube, you can find 10 new bands or 10 new songs that you might like that you've never heard of before.
Your cover of the
And I
song
think
telephone.
and
Yeah,
so many
continue.
people like,
So many people
yeah,
viewing in
it,
YouTube is
in
amazing.
yeah, Telephone became one of our biggest, our most streamed songs in such a short time because it was during pandemic. RHD wasn't doing anything, but also Telephone was a great song. And we wanted to do a Lady Gaga song for a while, and so we did it. And
Were you surprised that it was so well received by your fans? This song, Telephone.
we were very surprised because we were, before Telephone, we only did one other cover. It was Michael Jackson's Dirty Diana. And, you know, when you do only one cover song, we think people only want originals from Red Hand in Denial. So when we did this cover, it was such a big surprise. It's like, wow, people actually listen to it and they like it. And because of that, more people found out about RHD because of the Telephone cover.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And do you
And it's really
plan
cool. Yeah.
do you plan on releasing many more similar covers in the future?
In the future, yes, we have a small list of songs that we want to do, but I think we'll be doing it much later. Um,
Yeah.
you know, we have this album we still have to promote, and then I think we actually have we're writing right now for another album, so we have more material. So I think if we do a cover, it'll be maybe one just randomly, and then later just more covers.
Okay. Another great song for me is Fish Me. Has a powerful breakdown. Many bands have used breakdowns in recent years, and I see that many of them continue to use it. Do you think that the breakdown still has a long way to go in music?
I think the breakdown, I think it still has a life.
Yeah.
I think breakdowns can still survive a little longer. um,
No surrender, no, the
no
breakdown.
surrender. There's ways for a breakdown because one, you know, almost all breakdowns are pretty similar now. It's a build up and then something. But
No,
I,
it's very funny for the fans and in a live show when a band play it a breakdown, all people make a, a good time, no, because
yeah,
it's amazing, no?
it's always so much fun, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think now people are becoming more creative with breakdowns. And I think because people are getting creative, like sometimes now breakdowns are electronic, or
electronic, yeah,
a breakdown will now include vocals, or sometimes even I've heard of vocal breakdowns too, which is kind of
yeah,
crazy. Um, so I think the creativity will keep breakdowns going for a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, many bands is combining different parts, electronic as architects, for example,
Hmm.
breakdowns with electronic. Um, your breakdown for me is original. I love breakdowns, and I hear a lot of breakdowns in my life. But when I hear you, I feel that it's a new
Hmm.
sound. No?
Hmm. Yeah, um, we tried to avoid the breakdowns that we are so used to hearing.
Yeah,
Um, and Chris does a lot of the writing, and he likes a good breakdown, but at the same time, it's more like, does the breakdown work?
yeah,
Because we could, if we had the free decision, we would put in 10 breakdowns in one song.
yeah, yeah,
Song
yeah, yeah.
starts, breakdown, song's
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
I don't
you
like
have
it.
sometimes sometimes you have to look and say, like, does the breakdown work for the song? Does it make sense? Does it fit? And sometimes it doesn't fit.
Okay. In Europe, bands as Venom Prison from Wales or Ginger from Ukraine that have female singers stand out. Do you know these bands, Ginger and Venom Prison?
I know Ginger.
Yeah,
Ginger is definitely a really popular band and a really talented band as well. Sorry, what was the second one?
Venom Prison from Wales.
Ooh, I don't think
No,
I've heard that one.
in Europe, it seems to be a good moment to female singers. Do you think so? That is a in music is a music period that female singers could be a successful future.
I think so. I think, I mean, we've had a lot of female singers for a while, and even in metal. And I'm
Can you recommend me another female singers? Another
ooh, oh, I know Vicky's in a band. She's is it Arch Enemy? I don't know if
arch
it's Arch
enemy? Yeah,
Enemy.
yeah. Arch enemy is very famous in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, and then oh man, oh there's so many. There's one they're Canadian friends of ours. Hold on, I have to take a look at this. I will I will die if
Okay.
I forget.
Paramore that I told you
Paramore,
before.
yep, yeah.
Yeah. In Spain,
Oh, Agonist.
Agonist.
Agonist
Yeah,
is
yeah,
another
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I know that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then you also have, like, you have a Spirit Box as well. Um, Divide and Conquer. Um, Nightwish, some of the old school ones.
Nightwish, Nightwish. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
so many out there.
And in Canada, do you feel that people loves these singers?
I think so. I feel Canada is we're very accepting for a lot of new ideas. And even though this is an older idea, I think people they're cool with it. They enjoy this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
They love to hear just something different.
yeah.
Yeah.
The next month we will play in Spain, Anvil, that is a famous band in Spain from Canada.
Uh-huh.
Do you watch the documentary about Envil? Do you know it's a heavy metal band from Canada, Envil?
Envil? Yes, yeah, yeah, I know about them.
In Spain is a band that we love because it's a difficult times to a thrash band, and they go on in the fight. No, it's
Yeah.
amazing too.
Mhm.
Do you have any plans to tour Europe or Great Britain in the next months?
Oh, we want to so badly. We want to go to Europe every day. We want to tour Europe, but
It's very difficult now to tour to make a tour in Europe, or yeah.
yeah, it's very difficult
Why
to
why
set one up
why
and
why
to
is so
fly.
difficult? Why?
A lot of it has to do with, I guess, getting there is the biggest problem. You know, trying to figure out how to fly there, um, bring our equipment there, and not be completely in the red after tour. You know,
Yeah,
because a tour that's outside of your own country is it's even outside of your own continent. Because you know we've toured the U.S. from Canada, and you know
yeah,
that's okay. But when it comes to when flying is involved, that's when things get more difficult, and also like planning, booking, and
yeah.
need to find someone to bring us out there as well.
So many infrastructure, no, to and facilities
Exactly.
to
There's a
to
lot
coordinate.
involved. Hmm.
Yeah, and so many. And there are you there many plans to touring American, North American, Canada? Which
Yeah.
is your future plans? If you can tell me, sure.
Yeah. So right now we're trying to book a few things. I think if touring, a few of the members are going to be out of the country as well. We have our own things happening right now. I think if any tour does happen, it will be later in the year, maybe like fall, winter time.
Yeah.
If not, definitely next year we're gonna have some tours
Wow.
lined up to
Wow.
promote
Okay.
this album and just to come back to touring.
It would be great. It would be great.
Yes, it
I,
will
I
be
I
amazing.
think that in the next months, so many people hear you because you will record a great album in my opinion,
Yeah, I
a powerful song, technical parts. Yeah,
mhm.
it's a great album for me.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope that there's gonna be a song for everybody. Um, you know, the album is pretty. It's definitely a heavier album in my opinion.
Heavy. Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of cool surprises and new stuff in the album that people listen to and they're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll, you know, if someone doesn't like metal, I hope that they could listen to the album and say, okay, maybe I like metal now. So,
Are you receiving good reviews, good from
yeah,
criticians and magazines, and yeah,
I'm very surprised. Yeah, I mean, like it's always you always hope for positive reviews, but when you get the positive reviews, it's still so mind blowing and crazy. You're like, wow, like people like it, and I'm happy. You know, Cloud9, Whitewater,
yeah,
and Father Said, people really enjoy it, and
yeah.
there's always a fear when you write the album, you put out a new song, you're always afraid that they're not going to like it, or people will say, this is terrible, I want old RHD, but everyone's been really happy about it, and that makes us happy.
Okay, okay. It's good for you, and I am happy with these words because I really think that is a good album. Okay. Finally, I would like to give me your opinion about in a few words about the following musicians. You can tell me what do you want. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I will start by Boybot, a band called Boybot from Canada. What do you
Band
think
called,
about it?
hmm, do I have to know these bands though?
Sorry,
Do I know these bands? Hold on.
Boybot.
Boybot.
Maybe it's I I can
Uh,
spell it
uh,
Boib. OD.
Boybot.
Voivod is
B.
a classic thrash metal from Canada.
I've never heard this.
Oh wow,
What?
it's
You know
a
what? I'll check them out right after.
it's a great album. It's a great band. Eh? It's a
Nice.
famous band from Canada. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's a good album?
The good album. The maybe the first album, second album, because it's a progressive metal with thrash. Good combination. Okay, another band, Trivium from USA.
Trivium? Oh, I love those guys. Great people. I listened to them so much back in high school, which is for me like 50 years ago. But yeah, Trivium, great. Super Matt's a great vocalist, and with every album, you could hear the change and the improvement, and like the band, they keep working, and they're very hard workers, and I love it.
Okay, and finally, Travis Barker.
Travis Barker, amazing drummer. When I first heard Blink-182, it was so interesting. His drumming is interesting. It's creative, and knowing that he came from a background of drum lines,
Yeah.
I think that really shows in the music.
And
he's a great businessman as well.
Yeah, what is your opinion about the career of Travis as producer, as Machine Gun Kelly, and all this emo?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it because
yeah.
as a musician, you're the point is to keep growing and to keep expanding, and
Yeah.
he's not just a drummer anymore. He is Travis Barker, and
it's a brand.
It's a brand now, and like that's the goal for I think every musician should do, is to just be a one person army and just do everything and just be known to be able to do everything.
Yeah.